Okay, it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I've just been so damn busy, I haven't had time. So I'm just gonna get right to it. This is a 2011 Journey. If you're here for the procedure as far as replacing the ball joint, you need to keep in mind there's two different styles. This one is the style with a cast iron arm. There's another one with a stamped steel arm. And on the stamped steel arm, the style is got a pinch bolt and a through joint. This one here is actually just bolted through as a stud and it's pressed into the knuckle. So just bear that in mind. You know, if you're here for any sort of instructions, make sure you're looking at the right style of control arm, because like I said, there's two different ones. Pretty simple job. You got two 21mm bolts at the on the strut. I've already taken it all apart. They're spline bolts. They have these splines that lock them in, so don't try to spin them. Just take the nut off. Just take the nut off of the bolt and then knock the bolt through. You can see my little hammer marks where I just knock them out and they'll come right off. You got 32mm axle nut, 18mm on the tie rod, 18 on the lower ball joint, and then also the ABS, the speed sensor. I broke that. You know, you're probably not going to be able to avoid that. I should have just not worried about it and left it, but if you're in a rusty environment, don't ever try to take this off. You're up shit creek if you break this off, and 9 times out of 10, if you try to take this off, the sensor's not going to come out anyways. So just follow the wire up the wall there, and then there's a little push through here, and then in the engine bay you can actually find the connector here and disconnect it, and then just pull the whole wire through, leave it connected. I've already knocked everything loose, like I said. So this video is actually about TTX ball joints. If you are not using TTX ball joints or like their sway links, control arms, you are fucking up. Because these things are just, I mean, they're so awesome. Like, they're just really like the best stuff you can buy, honestly. Let me put the camera down for a second. I'm gonna get this set up. Before I go into detail on the ball joint and everything, I just want to give a very big tip. Take the backing plate off. On this style, you have to take the backing plate off anyways to get access to the C-clip, which I'll show on the knuckle. But if you take this backing plate off, the first benefit you're gonna have is when you're hitting the knuckle and the lower control arm, you know, you're like hitting the control arm here with your hammer to get that to separate. If that's the way you're doing it, that's the way I do it. And then same thing with the tie rod. If you're hitting the knuckle to get this tie rod to pop loose, you're not going to inadvertently hit the backing plate and damage it. So that's a huge benefit. And not only that, but like I said, you have to take it off anyways to access the C-clip, which you can see is right here. And you can see how it's clipped on there. If you look at the new one, it just clips on halfway. So you have to flip this over, and then where's my screwdriver? Here it is. You reach down in there and you can hit that clip. You can hit it out, which is what I'm going to do. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is get the C-clip off. Like I said, just reach your small flathead in there, grab it, try to hit it over, try to hit like both sides. And that should, yeah, so see how it opened that gap up? Reach in there with a bigger one, bigger screwdriver, try to just pry it and work it out. Okay, now you take the knuckle, you guys can still see it, thick knuckle, and now you can press the ball joint out. However, most standard presses are going to be too small or too big, so this piece here won't actually fit down in there very well. And with the way you're going to press it, I'll show you. put my setup through. I'm just going to use a small cup to fit around there, and then this piece here, fit your ball joint press like that. But if you put that on there, stud will barely fit through there, so I just avoid that situation entirely, and I just take a cutoff wheel. Give you any trouble now. Like I said, the stud will fit through that hole, but it's a tight fit, and I don't really want to risk getting stuck. So take this piece here. Out most of the way. Once you're done with my press, I'll put it away. I'm sure there are attachments that you can, push that out the whole way. I'm just a cheap ass, and I have this small kit. It's always worked as long as you have one of these. Ball joint out. Now, TTX ball joints. These things are fucking awesome. Not only they give you two different styles of C-clips, which this one you actually can't use on this. It doesn't fit down in there past that groove. So this one here will just be knocked on there, and it'll hold it on just the same as the original clip. The reason why these are awesome, first of all, this boot doesn't come pre-installed because when you press this ball joint in, you're supposed to press it on this lip. Now, again, my press doesn't really fit this the best, so I just knock these in with my air hammer, and they go in just fine. But the fact that this is not installed, it just shows you that these are like made from people who have wrenched before. Whoever manufactured these definitely, they definitely wrenched on stuff before, and they know like the importance of having to remove these. And then they even give you this plastic boot installer that fits perfectly to knock that fucker back on once it's installed. So you can put something around the outside and knock it in evenly, but usually what I'll do is I'll just grab the edge of it. Not even using the hammer at full power. These things actually go in pretty easily. That's it. It's in. Like I said, if you have the ball joint kit to do that with, all the more power to you. But this is definitely a effective way and a perfectly acceptable way of getting this ball joint in. Not damaging the ball joint in any way. You're just using this outer lip right here with the air hammer, and you got a little bit of dirt in the crease there. that's it. Take your clip here, and it just snaps on. Kinda. That's on. And then your boot installer. Just line it up. Look at that. Anyone who fucks with a ball joint boot knows how much of a bitch those are. And this little thing they give you just goes right on. Oh, anyways, now we're almost ready to go back on. I'm gonna put this greaser on before I go in the vehicle. But yeah, anyways, TTX are very nice parts, and you'll get this out of all of their stuff. I mean, they make their tie rods, their sway links, any of their chassis parts are just, they're fucking great. So, thanks for watching.